Stunningly good news, we successfully refinanced $1.6 billion worth of debt with a plan for up to $850 million more. This was due to be repaid starting in 21 months. Now maturity dates extend to 2029 and 2030. We get years of added breathing room to build, grow, and strengthen AMC. The debt extension to 2029 is a huge vote of confidence in AMC's future by our lenders. Plus, it is possible to reduce our debt owed by up to $450 million as well. It took all of our skill, ingenuity, tenacity to get this accomplished. This is such incredibly good news for AMC. Lastly, a tweet from Adam Aaron. I am so proud of our announcement yesterday that so much of AMC debt will not need to be repaid in 2026, instead 2029, which is a long time from now. One correction, to be more precise, actually we might be able to convert $464 million of current debt into equity en route. That is right, AMC dropped some news yesterday that reacted well for a minute in the chart until AMC got halted for basically a whole hour. AMC, to put it in simple terms, basically made a deal with some lenders to refinance their debt maturities for another 3 to almost 4 years. However, there's a couple things that they left out. Over 170 theaters are going to be put up as collateral. But he also says this, here's the official press release. You can see for yourself the complexity of this series of financial transactions which extended AMC debt maturities. Well, yeah, it is complicated. Another thing left out of his tweets was that AMC basically diluted a little bit. They plan to issue 92.6 million new shares of Class A common stock as part of its debt reduction efforts, which will result in a 10.2% increase of the company's outstanding shares. This may lead to a moderate dilution of existing shareholders' ownership stakes, potentially decreasing their percentage of ownership. However, the increased liquidity and reduced debt burden could also lead to long-term benefits for shareholders. New investors will also have opportunity to buy into the company's equity at a potential lower price point, potentially attracting new capital and growth opportunities. So was this good for shareholders or was this bad for shareholders? Well, it depends on the way you look at it. If you're here for a short squeeze next week, it could potentially not necessarily be the greatest thing. But this also overall takes bankruptcy off the table for quite a bit as long as AMC continues to get their shit together, right? We see movie theaters doing better. We see AMC beating on earnings, and now they don't have to repay some debt for a much longer period of time, which means AMC could thrive and actually survive and exit out of this bankruptcy position that they are heading towards and which short sellers want. So bad for short sellers in the sense that, hey, long term, we're not going to be able to short this thing because it looks like they're not going to go bankrupt. However, short term, they're just diluting more. Bad for shareholders. Honestly, there's a 50-50 here for the time frame that we're in. But again, the longer term, technically, some good news for AMC. We saw this nice pop in the chart. Exactly what we called out. It couldn't have been more perfect. This wick down right here to 480. And then a bounce all the way up to 575. Now, we did call out a bounce to 585, but we got to 575 and didn't necessarily expect it to happen that fast. But obviously, a catalyst being dropped is a catalyst being dropped. And I also think that this just lines up and adds on to every single time a CEO drops catalyst or drops a tweet or something. It aligns with the algorithms. And I think they had it halted for an hour so they could keep it down in plain sight. Honestly, there was some corrupt shit happening. I don't care if anyone tries to debunk that. And that is where we stand right now with AMC. So where are we going to go going forward? We're now sitting basically at $5 even. And technically AMC is at the point now in which you are going to see bigger moves up, higher moves up, in which short sellers getting out, AMC short squeezing, so on and so forth, coming up to good levels, or you're going to see the cycle basically get crushed. And with that being said, that would be a close under $4.30 once again for AMC. So those are the bullish and bearish case scenario. We're sitting dead center. As far as GameStop goes, we're trading at $25.34, basically getting pinned based on the cycle that we have drawn out. You're not going to see any sort of good action on GameStop. If I highlight this for you, this is what the cycle is showing us. Basically, GameStop's price pinning down here. Now, what's also so interesting about this is going to keep GameStop's price basically bouncing off of Roaring Kitty's average, and this is exactly how this cycle has been trading so far. However, this doesn't mean that at some point, were inaccurate, or at some point Roaring Kitty is going to come out and say something. I have a bunch of call options, bunch of shares, right? Call options that are going to look like they're going to expire worthless, and we're all in this together. We're looking at this, we're waiting. As far as other things go, GameStop is looking beautiful on the weekly, looking beautiful on the monthly. The Bollinger Bands, the RSI, everything is looking pretty good on GameStop. It's just we need something to happen. That's it. We're just waiting for something to happen. Just like AMC dropped the catalyst, we could see something like that with GameStop. Now, SPY, 554.68, and we need to talk about Tesla earnings right after this and some tech stocks, but before we do that, 554.75 basically flat on the day. The SPY came up to test this mid zone. We called out 556.50. We came basically to a T to that level and tested it. The SPY, in my opinion, is too risky to trade as of right now. You saw a bounce on the SPY, but with less volume than the sell-off, and now you're seeing it reject off the mid part of the channel, so we want to see what the SPY is going to do. If we fail here, the SPY is coming back down to 551.65. Okay, watch that level. If SPY holds strength, watch for an open or pre-market move from 553 to break this mid level to 558.60 to 559 on the SPY. So you're going to see that large move pre-market if the SPY holds up strong. Okay, Tesla has earnings tonight. As many of you know, a lot of people are looking at this thing. Tesla's trading at 247.36, down 1.65%. Now, the worst part about this is it's flagging out, but it's also trading exactly in the middle of where bulls and bears are watching price levels. Bulls are saying, hey, if we get a close right above here, it's going to go up. Bears are saying, hey, if we get a close right beneath here, it's going to go. And Tesla is like, nah, I'm just going to sit in the middle of it to basically scare everybody trying to play earnings. Now, I do want to play earnings. I do. But this is scary. It's a 50-50 shot. And the way I see it is previous moves are indicating Tesla is going to come up to this zone between 270 and 277 at least. And it looks like signs are pointing upwards for Tesla. But if Tesla does not have the guidance, it's coming between 230 and 224, okay, in this zone. So you're seeing a large move one way or the other, about 9 to 10% move on Tesla. And the fact that everybody is saying Tesla is going to the moon, it's going to Mars, it's going to be bullish, it's going to fly, makes me want to just bet puts on Tesla. If you want to know what I end up doing, just make sure to be in the Discord. The link is under the video. Google is also reporting earnings. This is important as well, but what I see on Google is fading volume on the monthly, in which you saw very similar back here after a run and you got a first red candle. I don't think Google is going to have this parabolic pullback, but I do think Google has a good shot at tumbling down to sub 175, and as of right now I'm slightly leaning bearish on tech stocks, including Nvidia, getting a rejection at 123 and then coming into next week selling off down to retest about 111. I am slightly bearish on all of these tech stocks, even though I'm not completely bearish nor completely bullish. I am mid slightly bearish. Bitcoin breaking under 66,000, which is not something that we want to see. If Bitcoin doesn't hold above 65, you could get a flush all the way down to 64, a bounce back up to about 66, and that will form a ugly head and shoulders to essentially tumble Bitcoin back into the bloodbath that it has been in. We really want to see Bitcoin hold above these levels so that we can potentially get above 69,000 and close. Last but not least, couple last things on top. SEC officially approved spot Ethereum ETF trading for today. Speaking of Ethereum, Jim Cramer turns bearish on Ethereum, which means it's probably a good thing. Nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. I want to tell you guys that a lot of you that come watch my videos every single day aren't subscribing to the channel. I don't know why. If you're not subscribed on your TV or tablet or phone or whatever you're watching on, make sure to subscribe, share the video, like the video on your way out, and check the links in the comments down below and in the description. The second link, which is a brand new promotion, is for Moomoo. If you open an account and make a deposit, you are earning 8.1% APY on your uninvested cash, but you're also getting free stocks. Depending on how much you deposit, you can get up to 20 free stocks just using my link and opening an account through Moomoo and making a deposit into there. You're also getting level 2 order book data for free, access to trading options, going long, going short, viewing other exchanges, and more. So go do that, guys. And the top link under the description, remember I got to do this full time, is for my custom indicator in which you can add to your TradingView charts to help you with your trading. It is pattern detection. It detects patterns, gives you price targets, and then forecasts what the stock might do. So it does basically everything for you. Lastly, the third link is the Discord link. It's under the description of the video, and I'll pin it in the comments for you guys. Anyone who's not in there, make sure to come join. Best family, cheapest Discord for the value that you get, best vibes. We also have option trading alerts in there. I post my trades when I take them and more. So get in the Discord, guys. I love you all. Lottery Socks out.